Welcome back, everyone. This is the 2025 Porsche 911 GT3 Touring. Refined from the original 992.1, this 992.2 mid-production refresh does everything right. Now sit back and enjoy the video. My name is Frank, and this is my life of cars. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Frank, and this right here is the 2025 Porsche 911 GT3 Touring. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this car. And while we're at it, let's talk about why Porsche is a childhood car poster brand, specifically the 911s. Let's get into it. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the 992.2 generation Porsche 911. This is the facelifted version of it, and I think it looks fantastic. Now, this is the 911 GT3 Touring, which means that, of course, as you could see, we do not have the standard spoiler on the rear. We do have a retractable spoiler. If that's not your thing, go ahead and get a regular 911 GT3. Now, this car is, of course, a rear-wheel drive, rear-engined sports car with a 24-valve flat six, producing 502 horsepower with 331 pound-feet of torque. And I know the torque number may not sound like a lot, but that does propel this car from 0 to 60 in just 3.2 seconds with the manual transmission, which of course this one does have, and I am very excited to show you guys that. And of course, this car can be optioned with the PDK transmission, but like I said, this one has the good old-fashioned 6-speed manual. Not too much difference from the prior generation 992.1, but a couple of key things to note on this one is that this one actually has an 8% shorter rear axle, which means that every single gear in this car is actually shorter than the prior generation, in turn making the top speed of this car actually lower. So it goes from 199 miles an hour down to 194 miles an hour. And I know that is going to affect, well, pretty much everyone on their daily commute when purchasing and using this car, but what are you going to do about it? In turn, though, it allows you to reach that 9,000 RPM rev limiter a little bit faster. And of course, I would love to thank my friends over at Porsche South Shore in Freeport, New York for lending me this beautiful car. And if you're interested, of course, in this one, go ahead and check out the description below. Now, let's talk about a couple other things, like cosmetic changes from the 992.1 to the 992.2. There's a few, but they're relatively subtle. Now, cosmetically, like I said, there are a couple of changes, albeit subtle, but changes nonetheless. On the front of the car, you actually have a new chin spoiler, which is again just slightly changed from the prior generation. The next thing is actually the turn signals, which are now integrated into the headlight housing, removing them from the front bumper, allowing for larger air intakes in the front bumper to cool down the engine and the brakes. Speaking of brakes, and in that case suspension, this car actually does share the front control arms from its older brother, the GT3 RS, allowing for a little bit more aerodynamic passing when driving this car. And honestly, that's all that this car has changed from the front end. Just a couple of little things. Chin spoiler, turn signals, front control arms borrowed from its older brother, the GT3 RS. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the rear end of the car. Now the rear of the car is, well, relatively similar. Everything except for the rear light bar, which is slightly changed, and besides that, everything else back here is pretty much the same as the prior generation. You do have a flat black rear diffuser and your center dual exhaust pipes, which sound fantastic. And like you can see right here, we have the rear spoiler, which is currently extended as far as it can go, and you can retract that just by holding the button down inside. And now let's go ahead and just talk about the exterior color. I think that honestly, it looks fantastic. This is ice gray metallic, and you can really see in the sunlight the metallic flake inside. Almost looks like chalk gray from afar, but when you stand up close to it, and again, of course, in the sunlight, you can really see that metallic flake in there, making it stand out. And pairing that with all the flat black accents all throughout the car, from the front splitter to the side skirts to the rear diffuser and a couple other little odds and ends, I think honestly, it looks really good. And of course, well, let's talk about the price, because it is a bit eye-watering. This car, base GT3 Touring, comes in at about $245,000, but this one, as it sits with all the options included, is $284,000.
So yeah, that is an incredible price, but this is an incredible car. Not to mention that the Porsche 911 was the #1 least depreciating car in the world, so you can also take that into account. Now, let's show you the interior briefly, and then let's take this car on a ride so you can see for yourself if that price is worth it.
And well, the only change that the interior really has is right here. As you can see, this no longer has an analog gauge in the center for the RPMs,
but instead has been replaced with an all-new 12.6-inch curved digital display paired with a 10.9-inch center touchscreen for the PCM and infotainment system.
And of course, right here is your signature 6-speed manual transmission, which feels absolutely incredible. And there's nothing else I would replace this for. And I know some people out there, of course, are going to opt in for the PDK transmission in terms of shifts and cleanliness. But if you just want to have a little bit more fun, I say go with the manual transmission, because this thing is absolutely fantastic. And if you're not too confident in your shifts, you can always go into the settings right here. You can activate in here the quote-unquote blip, which allows the car to rev match when you downshift or when you upshift as well, allowing for much cleaner and faster shifts. And that is something that here on the East Coast, where we do have a lot of traffic, I could see coming in a big help. Besides that, the interior in here is of course a lovely place to be, but relatively unchanged.
We're getting frisky. We're in the groove. People are smiling, and the music is on fire. The lights are turning me on, and they're lifting me higher. I wanna tell you that I feel alright. Yeah, I feel fine. That I'm on the move, baby. Hey, I'm moving on up.
Now I must say, the shifter in this car feels like a bolt-action rifle. So clean and smooth with zero slop whatsoever. Probably one of the best shifters I have felt. The steering and overall feel from the suspension is nothing short of perfect. Smooth yet aggressive makes this GT3 Touring feel like an absolute perfect daily driver and track weapon. Just listen to that exhaust as well and tell me, does that not sound fantastic for a stock car?
This car is fantastic. I understand why people
And that brings me to the next part of this video. Let's talk a little about why the brand Porsche still is a childhood poster car brand. I know that the 911 GT3 RS over recent years has become a very popular vehicle, but I'm not just talking about the GT3 RS. What attracts people to the brand Porsche? Perhaps it's the shape, the sound, the capabilities that this machine can produce. I would say yes to all of those. I know other brands such as Ferrari and Lamborghini have all done well for themselves to say the least, but in terms of childhood daydreams, is there truly something special about the brand Porsche? Not that the brand is better, but just connects on a different emotional appeal.
All I have to say is, wow, this car is absolutely incredible, and I understand why people love them and why people obsess over them.
Ooh. It's pretty cold out there, so we're gonna finish in here.
See, take this 911 for example. This car feels more like an attainable fantasy rather than something like an impossible fantasy. Brands such as Ferrari, McLaren, Lamborghini, and so many other exotic car brands have that ultra luxury feel. Whereas Porsche and the 911, to a degree of course, represent more of that attainable fantasy. You see them on the streets, not just on social media or in magazines, and of course you do see other brands on the streets, that's not what I'm saying. But in terms of volume, Porsche is it.
And I know, this car is almost $300,000, so it's not much different than any other branded exotic and sports car out there, and I'm sure some people out there are not going to agree with what I'm saying, which is okay. All I'm saying is that the brand itself has many more options from pre-owned to brand new that are at a much more affordable price, allowing everyday people like myself the opportunity to purchase and own one of the best driving machines in the world. So as I drive this lovely GT3 back and think about how absolutely lucky and blessed I am to be filming a YouTube video on not only such a monetarily expensive car, but a car that produces a wealth of memories and experiences. So with that, I ask all of you out there 2 questions.
So do you believe that a car like this is worth it if money were no object for the amount of memories that it could create? And also, what was your childhood poster car? Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys on the next one. Take care.